Hey, Sagittarius. Welcome to your March reading. I'm Madeline, and right back there is my kitty Praxis, who is joining us, and we're both very delighted to have you. Welcome. So, as always, we're going to kick off your reading by pulling a tarot spread to look at the story of your month, themes showing up for you, and how you are showing up. And then we will cap off your reading by pulling a couple cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to get a little astrological assistance. And let's get right into it. Thank you, Spirit, loved ones, and guides of my Sagittarian listeners. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for sharing the truth for Sagittarians in the month of March. Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising and Dominant folks. Spirit, we want to know the truth for Sagittarius' highest good. What themes are showing up in the month of March? Where is Sagittarius being called? And how do you want them to show up for their highest good? What kind of elements are showing up around them, helpful or hindering? What kind of elements from the past are touching the present and the unfolding future? What do you want to call Sagittarius's attention to for their highest good, Spirit, to create a future that feels abundant, peaceful, secure, loving, and fulfilling? Come on now. I'm hearing something that's kind of unsurprising, almost feels redundant to say to a Sagittarius, but Spirit is saying think big. Okay. Haven't even seen your cards yet. We'll see. Get there in just a sec. Month of March. For Sagittarians. Okay. Let's get into it. Ooh. Promise to share everything with you in just a second. Wow, okay, love it. Love to see it. Choices. You've got choices, Sag, and in short, it feels like you are being, I'll say, challenged to choose love. I know, that sounds deep. Let's talk about what that means. So, center of your reading, 5 of Swords. So here is where you are as we start the story. And the crossing card, the Ace of Cups, the wave coming into your life, which thank goodness, if we have to see a 5 of Swords at the center, we love to see some Ace of Cups relief showing up. But let's talk about what this means. I am hearing, Sag, that a lot of you are finding yourselves in a situation where there is someone or something in your life that feels like a constant battle. And for that matter, kind of like a losing battle, where it's kind of like this feeling or this person or this place just drains my energy. It's immature, it's petty. What it feels like is it is tempting you to show up in a petty or immature way. You know how people say, I match energy? It's kind of that vibe. Like, come on, get down in the dirt with us. You know what I mean? And I'm hearing several different things. So great moment to remind you, Sagittarius, I'm an intuitive reader. I'm a medium. I listen to Spirit, and then I basically try to translate. I'm an interpreter, right? So I'm going to hear different messages for different Sagittarians. If a message brings more questions than answers, it's a good rule of thumb to say, okay, then that information either will make sense later or is for some other Sagittarius. Either way, I don't need to worry about it in this moment. That's not for me, right? Some of you are finding yourselves in the situation like at work, where other people love to gossip and chat and talk shit about people, and Sagittarians aren't typically known for being immature in such a way. They're kind of like above that shit, not in a condescending way, but in like a truly, like, I'm a little more philosophical than that. It doesn't really give me a lot of pleasure to get down in the mud and do that shit. But somebody might be really fucking irking you. There might really be somebody who is just like, the temptation is just to match that energy and gossip and backbite and be small and pull back and you know, match energy, retain energy, get yours, get little digs in and stuff like that. But everything in your reading, and we'll talk about all of it, but oh my goodness, everything in your reading is asking you to show up in your largeness, in your bountiful beautifulness, okay? Sagittarius, like I said, is above such petty things the very most of the time. And yeah, Spirit is showing me something funny. So have any of you ever watched or read The Neverending Story? And if you have, did you happen to watch Neverending Story 2? I know, this is a deep cut. This one's for my Gen X and geriatric millennials, okay? And for the rest, the idea that the scene that Spirit is showing me is, spoiler alert, at the end of Neverending Story 2, we have a protagonist who has been on an adventure, and they are now face to face with the big boss, the villain of the story. And the protagonist of our story has made some mistakes along the way. They have hurt people, they have gotten things wrong, they've run away from their responsibilities or challenges, and they've been given wishes along this adventure, right? And so now, in this last moment, up against this big baddie who is super powerful and magical and shit, right? Sorceress. They have one wish left. They have fucked it up up until this point, right? And they use their last wish to wish that the villainess had a heart. It's a little cheesy. I like cheese. Spirit is saying that you are going to be presented with that kind of challenge or opposition. And it's like, are you going to be tempted to follow in the footsteps of the person or the organization that is giving you this shitty, petty, immature energy and call on you to be less of yourself, a smaller version? Or will you meet it with massive acceptance and even love and appreciation? And when I say that, I mean that you can accept something like feeling extremely limited at your workplace. Let's say, for example, like these supervisors are crap and this work they're giving me is crap and etc. But you can meet your life with, okay, but for whatever reason, let's leave aside whatever's going on in their brain, and I could make assumptions and presumptions and whatever, but that's not very useful. What's useful? What's pragmatic? What's here? What's here is a challenge for me to show up as the me that I really like and respect. And how does the me that I really like and respect show up? And let me do it like that. Let me meet this and thus meet myself with love, because whatever we are meeting in the external world, we are meeting within ourselves. So when we meet it with love, we are loving ourselves. You know what I'm talking about? The Queen of Cups shows up in the position of where you find yourself. And thus, you are supposed to show up as the mistress of your emotions. So deeply reflective, so deeply compassionate, that no sword could even hurt you. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, go ahead and throw a sword into the ocean and ask the ocean if that hurt. I'm ever, ever, ever so infinitely much larger than this little sword that this person is trying to cast in my direction. I can forget that sometimes. I can forget that, and I can go, be attracted to that energy and become small along with it, or I can remember who I am. So you're being asked to remember who the fuck you are. What you came here to do, how you like to show up in the world. Don't be tempted to match energy. Don't be tempted to be less. Become more. That is the invitation. So sitting in the basement of your reading, that Six of Wands is sitting in the crowning position, like, hey, there's an opportunity here to be seen and appreciated. So be more of you. Show up as more, okay? Like, really take responsibility, take authority, okay? When I say take responsibility, I don't mean it's your fault. Take responsibility for that. I mean, take authority back by assuming responsibility for your role, pardon me, in whatever this dynamic is. And remember, again, it's like, how do I want to show up? What do I have respect for? What kind of qualities? Courage, forthrightness, truth, whatever. Like, let me show up in these ways that I feel proud about, rather than, haha, got you, which makes me feel small, even if, you know, it felt a little good to get my little dig in. You know what I'm saying? So sitting in the basement, Two of Pentacles, gentle adjustments, making moves. If you think that you are stuck, that is shifting, and that shifts as you show up with love. Two of Pentacles is about finding a new balance. It's about risk, reward, a little gentle risk, a nice little reward. Okay, what now? Let me move things around. Let me adjust how I'm spending my time, my money, my effort. And that will bring me this Six of Wands victory. So making adjustments with your budget, making adjustments with, again, how you spend time and energy and effort, these things benefit you. And Spirit is saying one of these like resource calculations you ought to make is how much of your energy are you pouring into thinking about and drumming up more thoughts and swords around this Five of Swords person or situation, this immature or the Spirit is giving me like this kind of energy, like grabby, like taking from you. It feels like a lot of you feel like this person is just a fucking drain and a drag. Sitting in the past, the Empress, strong creative energy, beautiful ideas. So some of you is like between the Queen of Cups and this Empress, and then of course the Queen of Wands in the key position, because that is who you are eternally, is the ruler of fire, right? The Empress is so abundant. So Spirit is saying, please remember how abundant you are. Sitting right there in the past, remember how full, how she is shown as pregnant, because it's like you are endlessly fertile. You are a font of creativity or music or truth or passion or etc. Fill in the blank with your personal beautiful recipe of who you are. You are so abundant, so don't let this person or this temporary situation or place make you forget that. Show up more with abundance for yourself. It's not about showing up for them or changing them. It's you. Okay? You being you. You following your own internal moral compass is what pulls you out of the Five of Swords. Here's the climate around and available to you. Six of Swords, clarity. Not only am I leaving that situation behind, which is what the Six of Swords represents, is like, whew, I'm glad that's over. Like, I flew all the way from Tobago and boy are my arms tired. That kind of thing, okay? Like, you have come a long way. You have pulled the swords out of your body and out of your life. And now you can see clearly the lessons. I can take the lessons. I don't need the wounds. And I definitely don't need the bullshit. So let me take the lessons and close the wounds in my body and move on to brighter, clearer days, which is what this indicates. So I love to see that. I also love to see it in conjunction with that Hermit card of you can trust yourself. Go within. Don't let other people and outside events or circumstances determine how you behave, which is very easy to do and very human and very normal, okay? No blame, no shame, no judgment. This isn't about like, transcend that or be a fucking angel. And no. It's be you. Don't let the world determine who you are. You be who the fuck you choose to be. That's all I'm advocating for, okay? Okay. When you make these adjustments, when you remember and celebrate and hold up who you are, your inner fire, your inner drive, yourself, it leads to this future. There are cups everywhere in your reading, as I said. First, Seven of Cups. Many options, many choices. There's a theme here. There's a theme here of how do I want to show up? Which way do I want to choose? What is it that I really prioritize? Which is what the Seven of Cups is asking you. which dream really is congruent with me, is aligned with me, is coherent within me. Maybe I want fame and fortune, but actually those things don't have anything to do with my values. Those are external things, like, oh, the world is telling me I should be big on the internet or big in whatever. But actually my value is show up in a dedicated way for my community or whatever. And even if everybody doesn't see that, that's outside my community sees it. You know what I'm talking about? So again, here is this theme of there are options to look at what everything else and everyone else and dream and kind of get lost in the fantasy or the external mirage hologram, or 9 of Cups. I can fulfill myself. 9 of Cups is, you know, in the classic Rider-Waite version of the card, it's kind of chubby dude sitting back looking very pleased with himself with the 9 cups over his head on the mantle. Like, oh yeah, that was me. I made that shit happen. Emotionally and psychologically so full of yourself, but in the best sense, because it is when we are full of ourselves that we're able to overflow for other people, right? And share all the wonderful love and self-acceptance and appreciation that we've been able to welcome into our lives. So, choose the wish that is fulfilling for you, not your parents, not your contemporaries, not your followers, you. What feels like love? Move like that. And I want to say that showing up as 2 queens and an empress. Queen and empress, nothing to do with sex and gender, everything to do with personality type and what you are concerned with in this moment. And queens and empress are concerned with nurturing their inner world and their inner circle. Kings are concerned about that external shit, okay? And you are not showing up as, okay, I need to show everybody that I know what I'm talking about, or I need to show everybody blah, 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 blah. No, I need to be here for me, and then everyone will be able to feel that. That's what Spirit is saying. So as you are here for you and fully fucking deeply embodied and passionate and showing up all the way, people gonna feel that shit, and things will move for you. Okay? Okay. Now, a little astrological assistance, please. Spirit, we would love to know what kind of stellar guidance ought to be woven into this reading for the highest good of Sagittarius. Spirit, what would you like to leave Sagittarius with, to take with them through the month of March for their highest good? Wow. Wow. That's fun. Okay, I need you to know I have shuffled these cards so many times, so they are not in order by any means. And yet, the 8th house, mystery, and your second card, the 9th house, your native house, as the 9th house of the 9th sign of the zodiac, exploration, mystery, mystery and exploration. So, I mean, yeah. Explore it. It is mysterious. Go ahead and explore. What are you interested in? What do you want? There is a mystery showing up. And there's even, you know, there's conflict in the mystery. The 8th house is related to Scorpio. The sign right before you, right? 8th house, 9th house, 8th sign, 9th sign. And Scorpio has a little bit of that deep, dark, a little bit vengeful, a little bit match energy type of vibe. So this is saying, look deeper into, what is this bringing out of me, and why is it calling that out in me? Does this situation remind me of anything? Does this person or their behavior rhyme with perhaps a significant caretaker or figure or ex-lover from my past? Like, embrace and explore the mystery. Don't think that it's happening to you. Remember, like, I know that it sounds cheesy, but it's happening for you. Everything that shows up in your life is ultimately for your clarity, your understanding, your evolution. So embrace that mystery, like Spirit was talking about being so much bigger. And now they're saying, you know, if you take a measuring cup of salt, and you pour it into a glass of water and you try to drink that, it's like impossible, right? But if you take a cup of salt and you pour it into a gigantic 1,000-gallon vat of spring water, it's going to taste good. You might not even know that there was any salt in there. So put all that love around the salt, okay? Explore the mystery, and you will know how to proceed. The next adventure will show itself. Feels pretty good to me, Sagittarius. How does that feel to you? Questions, comments, stories, reflections? I would love to hear them. Please let me know in the comments. And if you'd ever like a personal reading and to have this frenetic experience in person, I would highly recommend, I must say, if I do say so myself. The directions to do that are also in the box just south of this video. I deeply, deeply appreciate you being here, Sagittarius, and I truly hope that this reading is helpful for you now and in the future. And if I don't see you before then I hope I will see you in your mid-month reading. Bye, Sag!